A little molecule in your gut could transform your health and even protect against cancer. Meet Butyrate, a powerhouse compound your gut bacteria produce when you feed them the right foods. Let's dive in.
Butyrate. So it's getting a lot of attention, and for good reason. Butyrate is a short-chain fatty acid. And while that might sound a bit technical, it's actually a really fascinating little molecule produced by bacteria that live in your gut. So what we're going to unpack today is why this tiny compound is so important for your health. And luckily, I've got an expert here with us to help break it all down.
Well, you know what's so fascinating about butyrate is that our bodies don't even make it. It's actually a byproduct of what happens when the good bacteria in our gut feast on fiber that we eat. It's like they're creating this super valuable substance as part of their own digestive process. And then we benefit.
So we're talking about like a symbiotic relationship here. We feed the good bacteria in our gut with fiber, and they in turn produce butyrate, which benefits us. But I'm curious, how exactly does that production process work?
Okay, well, imagine. It's a bit like a microscopic factory in your gut. You got those good bacteria just working hard. They're breaking down those complex carbohydrates, those fibers we were talking about, into much simpler molecules. And from there, it goes through a series of steps until finally butyrate kind of emerges as an end product.
Is this process unique to like one type of bacteria?
No.
Or are there many players involved?
You know, it's actually quite a cooperative effort. And this really highlights how important it is to have a diverse gut microbiome, because a wider variety of bacteria in your gut means more robust production of butyrate.
But then what happens to the butyrate? Where does it go in the body?
Well, the majority of it actually stays right there in your gut, and it's really quickly absorbed by the cells that line your colon, called colonocytes. These cells, they're like the gatekeepers of your gut lining, and they rely on butyrate as their primary fuel source.
So butyrate is literally energizing those cells that are keeping our gut healthy and functioning properly.
It is crucial because these colonocytes have a tough job. They need a constant supply of energy to maintain the integrity of your gut lining, preventing harmful substances from leaking into your bloodstream.
This is all starting to make sense now. A healthy gut lining means a healthier you overall.
Yeah.
But I've heard that butyrate has benefits that extend beyond just the gut itself. Is that true?
Absolutely. Butyrate's like a multitasking superhero in the world of gut health. And while its role in supporting colon health is essential, it also plays a key role in taming inflammation throughout the body.
Oh, that's interesting. I know that inflammation is a natural process. It helps our bodies heal. But chronic inflammation is linked to so many health problems. So how does butyrate actually help keep that inflammation in check?
Well, butyrate has this amazing ability to block a molecule called NFB. Think of NFB as like the master switch for inflammation in your body. When it's flipped on, it triggers that cascade of inflammatory responses. Butyrate can step in and essentially flip that switch off, calming down that inflammatory response.
So butyrate acts like a peacekeeper.
Right.
It's making sure that inflammation doesn't get out of control.
And, one of the most fascinating areas of research is its potential role in protecting us against colon cancer.
Yeah, I was definitely looking forward to diving deeper into that. How is butyrate thought to play a protective role?
Well, it comes down to a few key actions. First, remember how we talked about butyrate's anti-inflammatory effects? Well, chronic inflammation in the gut is known to increase the risk of colon cancer. So by helping to keep that inflammation in check, butyrate may actually lower that risk.
That makes a lot of sense.
Butyrate also plays a role in regulating the life cycle of cells in the colon, a process known as apoptosis. Apoptosis is essentially programmed cell death, which is a natural process that eliminates damaged or abnormal cells. So butyrate helps ensure this process happens smoothly, so it's removing potentially cancerous cells before they can become a problem.
Wow, so butyrate is not only calming inflammation, but it's also helping to weed out those rogue cells that could potentially lead to cancer.
Yeah.
It's amazing how this one molecule has such a multifaceted role in protecting our health.
It truly is remarkable, and it really highlights how interconnected our bodies are. The health of our gut, fueled by butyrate, can have ripple effects throughout our entire system, even influencing something as complex as our brain health.
Oh, that's right. We were going to talk about the gut-brain connection. I've heard so much about it. What happens in our gut can impact our mental well-being.
Well, think of it this way. Your gut and your brain, they're constantly communicating with each other through this really complex network of nerves and chemical signals. And guess what? Butyrate plays a role in that communication.
I'm intrigued.
So butyrate can